Hi everyone, this is Laura from Quilt, and in this video series, we're going to show you everything you need to know about the block randomization. So this first video here, I'm going to show you how you can use the relative block randomizer using a somewhat equal amount of blocks. So when we go over to the quilt here, you can see how I have two Hunter Star blocks. Just one's number number 1 and number 2. And right now I have an equal number of each of these blocks in the quilt. And just say I don't actually want to have such an abrupt division between one type of block and the other type of block. I'd actually like to randomly lay these blocks out into the quilt. And I wanted a relatively equal number of blocks. And so the way to do that would be to go down to the Randomize tab and click on that. It'll expand to show you the three different randomize options that we have right now, which is the colors, the blocks, or the rotation. For this one, I'm going to just click on blocks, and that's going to open up our default block randomizer, which is the relative method. And what that means is we're going to randomly lay blocks out, and the quantity is going to be relative to one another. And so that's why we have these hearts here. And because both of these blocks have equal numbers of hearts, there are going to be a roughly equal number of blocks randomly kind of thrown onto this quilt grid. And so to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave allow duplicates because we only have 2 blocks, but there's 64 block cells to fill. We're going to need these blocks to be duplicated at least a few times. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all cell blocks. And so that means that every option is going to be selected. And when I click on apply blocks randomly, it's going to randomly spit out these blocks onto the quilt grid. And we're going to hope that it's going to be a relatively equal number of times. So I can close this out and deselect to see what the quilt would look like. And then to see the numbers, I can see here, okay, that's actually not as close to equal as I'd like it to be. So let's give it a try again. So again, I can go down to randomize. I can click on blocks, select all cells, and then I can randomly click on the apply blocks randomly to try again. You can do that a few different times if you'd like. And then when you find something you like, you can just close it off, deselect, and see what it looks like. So actually, this is a perfectly equal number of each of these blocks, but they're randomly laid out in our quilt grid. Don't forget to save. And that is the first way of randomizing your block layouts in your quilt grid.